Oh, dude, you shot him in the dick. Huh? That's not cool, Butters. You don't shoot a guy in the dick.
It's never cool to shoot a fellow friend in the pee-pee. You
Not
never
one.
do that. I mean, you guys don't do that. That's not what we do.
No.
But we do talk Monday Night Raw, and we talk it on here on the show that we love. It's the Window Lickers, brought to you by IYH. It's the Monday Raw preview review show, and we are so goddamn happy you're fucking here to hang outside. Do not go
outside,
out.
nerd.
Don't.
Get out. Go.
Stay here.
I ain't got time to be distracted by your
We got
worthless
time for
man.
you.
It's gone.
Baby Billy doesn't have time for you, but we do.
We do.
We do. We do. So, guys, how's it been? Grun, how have you been? Kevin, how was your weekend, your week? How's everybody doing? Let's get into it.
Oh, I'm good. I'm sore. I'm shocked that my voice is good enough to actually be on the show today. Because usually when I come back, I'm like this, and I've just been smoking 3 packs a day for the last 4 days, and I just need a chair. But I'm all right this year. But I was at. For those of you that don't know, because it seems to be goddamn public knowledge at this point, because I had so many people coming into my DMs about trying to get onto the show. I help run the wrestling at Electric Forest, the Battle Zone. So I was at Electric Forest all weekend, and it's an amazing experience for those who haven't been to any Electric Forests. And I'm truly grateful for all the opportunity that's been given to me and the trust that's been given to me to keep running these things. This is the 3rd year running that we've been like the belle of the ball. And we're always called some of the most professional crew. One of our bosses this year came to the room and they're like, man, I feel like we just have to turn the key and then just like, there's no problems. We're good. They'll figure it out. And that's the highest compliment I think I can get. Cause like the in-ring stuff that we do for Electric Forest, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's not a typical indie show where you're going to go there, you're going to see a bunch of falsies, you're going to see a bunch of high risk moves. We do very character driven stuff, and it's all based on stuff from Electric Forest. So for example, I have workers from around the state and some out of state workers that came in. There's a guy actually who flew in from LA, who trains at the New Japan Dojo. Shout out Connor Rossi.
That's awesome.
Who did some work for us this year. And then Danny Moe, who works for JCW, did some work for us this year as well. That's actually her 3rd year that she's been there, along with many others. But like it's not Danny Moe there. She's a queen of the forest. It's not, Wrestler A. He's a shaman of the forest. It's not random bad guy A. It's Litters the Clown, who's a trash throwing clown. It's not a guy by the name of Marquise, Father Marquise, actually on the independent scenes. He's not Father Marquise. He is Count Dancula, the dancing vampire. So like, this is the kind of stuff that we do there, and we bring all of that to life with a bunch of like just ridiculous character work, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And man, I just wish more wrestling was like that. It's truly one of my goals to bring back festival wrestling, because man, it can be so fun to work in front of people who aren't wrestling fans, but just want to see something fun.
I love that. Hey, real quick before we get any further, can you kind of real quickly, briefly put together what is the idea of Electric Forest?
So the idea of Electric Forest, man, I'm still kind of learning it, and this is my 3rd year. But my interpretation of the idea of Electric Forest is it is definitely a techno-based music festival. They have other acts there, like they had Mike Posner this year, who's more like rap pop. They've had Ludacris, they've had Nelly Furtado, like they've had other things, but it's mostly like techno house music festival, like a rave. But it's a lot more than that, because Electric Forest also, like, when you are there, you're family. And everyone who's walking around you, everyone you meet, everyone you talk to, like everyone is so friendly. Everyone a lot of people are giving out some things they call candy there, and you'll get like hairpins or you'll get like little bracelets that they've made, and these are just like lovingly made things that people just want to give out to spread more positive things into the world. And to call it just a music festival is to downplay so much, because there's so much art and everything else there. But the biggest thing is the sense of community. People go there every year to see people every year that they don't see the rest of the year. Like that's how magnificent this festival is. And it's an honor to be there and to be able to be paid to be there and wrestle. And it's I would have never went myself without, because I would have looked at it as a techno festival. I wouldn't have known.
Yep.
But if I would have known everything I knew beforehand into going into the wrestling stuff, I probably would have at least went once in my entire life. It's one of those things where experiencing it, even if you don't like the techno music, is huge.
Yeah. It reminds me of a much like a gathering of the Juggalos, one of those big things. It mostly focuses around, like Kevin said, the community in which has made this Electric Forest huge. It's huge now. So
80 people deep came in from New York, and that's just 80 people I met.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's a sight to see, Grun. It is a sight to see.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. I always look forward to a couple of my coworkers, like I was telling you, Kevin.
Mhm.
Every year, I can count on photos at this time of all the things they did, where they all met up, and it's like their whole group has expanded over the years. It started out with like 3 people I would see all the time, and now they're up to like 18 different people, ranging from, like you said, New York, California, Texas, and they all meet up at this Electric Festival every year. It's a cool thing, and I'm so happy that they're continuing the wrestling, and it sounds like it's a success. And you have a big hand in that, Kevin. So that's awesome.
It's been one of my major accomplishments through my wrestling career, honestly, and to have the opportunity to do it has been nothing less than a blessing.
I fucking love it. I love it. All right, Grun, do you got anything you want to talk about before we get into the old world of wrestling?
Not too much. Been trying out 7 Days to Die, getting back into that with the 2.0 drop that I've not been able to access yet. Don't know why.
Maybe they hate you.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I give people a reason to hate me. Yeah, so I mean,
Makes it
look,
easy.
Yeah, it's like love me or hate me. Just
Well,
let
it's
me
just
play the game.
factually inaccurate on so many different levels. I don't understand why you wrote it like that.
I don't understand, Grun. Like, you're a lovely human being. People love you. You are cherished. Ah, Grun, no one hates you. You're a beautiful villain who we love with blue eyes. So I love when you pop them eyes. You psycho. You fucking weirdo. And always, whoa, what are we showing there, Kevin? You getting us kicked off Twitch?
No, what?
Yeah.
Showing us the old package from Kevin. Wow. And always remember,
China is asshole.
China is asshole. So you have to always remember that. And let's remember why we're here. And it's Monday Night Raw, my friends. So, Kevin, last week we know that you had a little issues. You had a little computer things before you went on your
I
your
went on a
Electric
magical
Forest.
journey of my computer dying, which was just great. It was fantastic.
So since you're backing up and looking beautiful with us, we're going to give you the floor, and let's let you have the first topic.
All right, so something happened in the last couple weeks, and we were calling out. Actually, we talked about it a little bit on Discord, so I'll go with this topic because I'm curious about 2 topics really, but I didn't get to talk to any of them last week. My pick for King of the Ring, well, one of my picks for King of the Ring and my pick for King of the Ring died on SmackDown, and that was Sami Zayn.
Yeah, he kind of killed a lot of our.
He killed my vibes, man.
Yeah, he killed mine too. I had him winning the whole thing.
But man, where do we think we're going with this King of the Ring now? Because Saturday is coming quick. assuming that Saturday happens at this point because of
So,
world events.
yes, and with those world events, yes, we should still be wary of whether they're going to happen or not. But as of right now, WWE has officially said that they are going ahead as planned.
Mhm.
And as Josh, we were talking a little bit earlier. Josh pointed out, if if Iran were to actually do something with Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, which is not involved right now, Iran is not in a very good position. They have no allies. No one's coming to the raid.
And we hope nothing happens. But the
Yeah.
news out of that was, like Grun said, they are right now, as of this moment, still planning on having it.
Yeah.
So we'll just go from that point. We know that they're having it as of right now.
So, in looking at that, we have Cody and Jey Uso tonight.
Mm-hmm.
If Sammy isn't going through, who do we think is actually winning this now? Because it feels obvious, but I've felt like it's been obvious before.
Yeah. Oh no, I get you. I get you on
And
that.
honestly, out of the 4 people that we had, we didn't really have a loser. Like, if any of them went through, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But who do we think is actually going to win this now? And
Mhm.
who's got future business if they lose too? Because there's a lot of guys on the table here that it feels like their future business is already here, except for maybe Orton. But even then, you could put him into anything at this point.
Yeah.
Very true.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with the obvious one. I'm gonna go Cody. I think it's Cody Rhodes. I think he's winning the whole thing. I think John Cena is gonna find some way to screw him over. Maybe Travis Scott makes his return to the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He at SummerSlam screws Cody Rhodes one more time. Somehow this leads up to a Survivor Series where it's Team John Cena versus Team Cody Rhodes.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, that could be something that they're gearing up to. Right now, I feel that well, my first pick was killed, Sammy, much like yours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really where I was.
My first pick was Sammy.
Yeah, and I thought it was just the way that they were building him up and the way he was going through these past couple months. It felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like you said, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, and is it going to be Cody Rhodes? Are they going to go another obvious route? Because that is an obvious route.
Right.
In my heart of hearts, I want Orton to walk away with it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
can see that.
with who's left, and plus there's storylines you could go with that also that intertwine and back into Cena, back into everybody there. Yeah, this one to me it's difficult in a way that it seems too obvious. I mean, it seems like they're giving it to Cody. In my view, that's where I think they're going.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat. It's got to be Cody, because who are you gonna? Why would you beat Cody without a good reason? Like a really, really good reason.
Yeah.
Especially before you
Oh.
know he's gonna face Cena.
Yeah, and plus you're trying to build him back up since he's back. Like, why would? But it would be interesting.
I think
to not let him get it.
Orton is the most interesting to me.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because I think if Orton wins, he shouldn't face Cena. I think he should face Gunther. That's why I think he's the most interesting. Because if we were to take a swerve and Orton wins, and let's say Cody has an out, maybe it's Orton and Jey Uso because Cody gets screwed by Cena or somebody, like you guys said, like Travis Scott or something like that. They come out and screw over Cody. That would give Cody an out. That's okay, but Cody needs an out in order to lose. That's it. Like, at full stop. He can't lose clean. Jay could lose clean, and he would be okay. Wouldn't be ideal, but if he lost to an Orton or a Cody Rhodes, it wouldn't I don't think it would kill him. And Orton is impervious at this point. He can eat a pin and it won't matter.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But Cody specifically has to be protected. He doesn't have to win, but he has to be protected. Because until he faces Cena, like, there's problems if you let him die clean.
No, I get where you're coming from on that. So ultimately, the biggest summer matchup in our eyes is going to be what they're going to set up between Cena and Cody.
Correct. I'm thinking that's the way that they're going is SummerSlam, because I don't see, unless you want to hold off Cena and Cody all the way until Survivor Series for some reason, because that'll get closer to John's ticking clock.
Well, and that's where what Grun was saying kind of comes into play,
Mhm.
because they could do that
They
because they could have two teams, and then but that would even stretch it past Survivor Series.
I think if you do the two teams and you do a traditional Survivor Series instead of a War Games, I wouldn't want a War Games again.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
I like
Yeah.
the elimination aspect of it because it gives it's going to give it more of a feel of urgency once the faces go down. Like on people.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, Grun. We see you pointing that finger.
I just thought of something because I agree. Traditional tag team, but what if also John Cena puts in a stipulation to try and play mind games with Team Cody? If Team Cody wins, the person that gets the final pinfall, submission, or official point to win, there commits the final elimination, they get one final title shot against John Cena.
Goddamn Harry Potter wannabes.
I don't like it. You're putting too many stipulations. But I see where you're going. Where you're going.
Yes,
because
John
you
Cena
could
would do that.
Yeah, you could build story within that and have a banger of a match for John Cena. But in that, you have to pick out your teams and who would you place into that, because right now anybody on the Mount Rushmore of who's the best today going after those titles, you can easily already build a story just between that. So to me, you're going to want to elevate somebody. Could that be where you get your Joe Hendry idea, Grun?
Maybe like
Could you imagine Joe Hendry winning a big accomplishment in front of WWE fans to be able to face John Cena at it would be one of his last 5 to 10 appearances.
Oh my god. Yeah, because Survivor Series would be third to last week, or the last week, second to last week, or the last week of November.
Well, tell me that wouldn't be the biggest rub for somebody, especially for Joe Hendry.
It would be gigantic, and like I think a lot of us would be. We've been very high on this idea on our Ron Killings be the one, or at least I know I have been very high on this idea of Ron Killings being the one.
Oh, I'm still there.
Yeah, like that would be. Oh my god,
he's at minimum got to be one of the guys that he faces.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I don't know if you heard me from last week, Kevin, but my whole plan for that is Ron Killings is going to be the very last one John Cena faces. Ron gets that win. Seth comes in, cashes in on Ron, saves us from Ron Killings. They both go off and have it's a secret retirement that we don't even know from Ron Killings yet.
I don't know if he's going to secret retire.
Well, he's wanting the more we look at it, I'm not sure if Ron is fully into being into wrestling anymore.
Sure, but I don't think Ron just goes away. So I think less is more with Ron Killings at this point.
Gotcha.
I also just on Ribshot's point, I don't disagree. If Cody wins, I don't think they're going to go with the King gimmick.
No,
we'll put it that way. If Cody wins, I don't think they're going to go with the King gimmick for any of these guys if they win.
No.
But I do think Cody winning could potentially spark backlash as a babyface. I don't know if it'll be full, but it could be. But either way, for Ron Killings, less is going to be more with appearances.
Gotcha.
I think if you overexpose Ron Killings at this point, you're going to lose some of the goodwill that you've done. So if you just keep having him go out and do shit, eventually it's going to be like, well, Ron Killings has to win something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I got you. It's a fair point. You burst my bubble, but
I mean,
it's a
I
fair
don't
point.
disagree with how yours could work though, because I think that still does it. It just doesn't include a secret retirement.
Yeah.
We would have that same thing happen, but then Ron Killings is going to have to face Seth again. And I think you could argue that they're setting up either Sammy or Ron at that point to take the title off of Seth.
Valid
And I don't
point.
think either would be a bad idea, because I think Ron Killings can hold. I don't want Ron Killings to have like this long, elongated title reign. I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
But I think a nice short heavyweight title reign for Ron Killings would work.
Well, and that's why I was saying as soon as he wins it, Seth cashes in on his ass.
Yep. And I think that would refresh the character then too, because it gives someone else for him to hate. Because right now his whole character is, man, fuck y'all, and especially fuck Cena.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're 100% on that. I love it. I love it. All right. So do we have any more input on this specific subject that Kevin brought to the table? King of the Ring men's winner.
I guess just to echo what everyone else was saying, none of the men really felt like they could have had a king gimmick that would have meant anything if they had won. So yeah, like Cody wins, doesn't do the king gimmick, just takes the title shot and loses.
All right.
Pizza delivery for Icy Wiener.
Not a Futurama fan, Grun?
Not really. I
love
prefer-
Futurama, so
I do
got
too.
that one.
Look, I'm not saying that I don't see why it hasn't earned its own place in pop culture history, but I was always Simpsons, at least when it was good.
Oh, wow, Mr. Sarcasm, yeah. I don't care.
That wasn't sarcasm.
I know. Well, when do any of the buttons I hit actually make sense? So shut the fuck up, Grun, and tell us what you want to talk about next. It's your time at the table, Grun.
I want to talk about the Queen of the Ring, because we are going to have Jade Cargill taking on Roxanne Perez tonight. Now, who do you who the hell? It's Asuka has qualified from SmackDown, so the winner will face Asuka. So it's either going to be Asuka versus the upstart Roxanne Perez, or Asuka versus the very protected powerhouse Jade Cargill.
The Force did provide house. It's got to be Jade now, right?
I think so.
It's got to be Jade. I just don't see a way around it. They needed to eliminate Jade in the first round if they were going to get rid of her.
Yeah.
Because she can't eat a pin. Technically, there are other booking ways around it. She could lose by countout or disqualification. That's possible. But I just don't see Roxanne going through either. And the reason that is because she has so much business with the Judgment Day, especially now with Liv Morgan's injury. And then what do we have there? We have Roxanne versus Asuka, so we have Raw versus Raw. You could just have that on a Raw.
Yeah.
You definitely could.
Yeah, I did not like how they booked this tournament.
I think the booking of the tournament is okay, but the winner to me once Jade went through became very obvious, or at least more obvious, because unless they're going to have Naomi screw Jade out of any of these, which is possible, but I don't think they want the I don't think they want the visual of Jade Cargill being pinned. I don't think they want that yet. Because I
Well,
think it ruins her a little bit. So I think Jade goes through here, and I think Jade beats Asuka because they can trust, and I can tell you exactly why Asuka's in the position she is instead of them putting through Alexa Bliss too. If their plan is for Jade to go through, Asuka can lead her no matter what happens.
very true.
She is
Very
a
true.
veteran, like 20 years deep into this business. The worst match she's had on a WWE programming is an okay match. So if she could pull an okay match out of Jade Cargill, we're good.
No, I can see exactly where you're coming from with that. But here's where I'm at with one of these things.
Sure.
The Jade takes on Roxanne Perez tonight, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We definitely still have Naomi running around, and Naomi still needs to, in her eyes, get vengeance over Jade.
Mm.
So there's your out for Jade getting DQ'd or what have you in this one. I could see Naomi pulling a stunt to where it cost Jade the match. Roxanne goes on because honestly, I think they're building this up, and it was the after the win for Asuka to advance, her interview in the ring when they were talking about her being the empress of the ring, things like that. I think that's where they're going. I just have a feeling that it's going to get put on Asuka via other people interfering with these two women because you have, well, with Liv being injured, who would really go after Roxanne in that group?
That's kind of what my thought process is now that I think Liv is still planned to be on TV. So they can still continue things a little bit, but I don't know where they go now that Liv is injured.
So one thing I did see is that they are not going to vacate the titles. Now that could mean that Adam Pearce gives Liv Morgan or Raquel Rodriguez an option. And either Roxanne Perez steps in and takes Liv's spot as tag team champion, or you guys vacate.
Mm-hmm.
Liv is not going to want to vacate those titles.
No.
And Raquel doesn't want to vacate those titles, but Liv also doesn't want to give it to Roxanne. Raquel thinks we have no choice. So this brings Roxanne closer to Raquel. They start to be friends a little bit more because they're both from Texas. They both have probably similar upbringings.
Mm-hmm.
Liv Morgan has been very bossy lately, especially to Raquel.
Okay, so you think they're going to play the Raquel angle, in which Raquel's going to end up turning on Liv and teaming up with Roxanne?
I think ultimately we're going to see a similar thing what we saw with SummerSlam. What was it? A year ago, 2 years ago, with Dirty Dom picking Roxanne over Liv.
Okay.
I could see them going back to that.
I think that would renew Dom as a heel because right now he's bordering face.
He is, unfortunately.
So, and I think Dom is definitely better as a heel than he is as a face.
Yeah.
And I think he still has legs as a heel. It also is completely within his character to do.
Well, let's be honest. Dom has legs in anything they give him.
I don't disagree, but I think they need heels.
Yes. I agree with that.
Especially in the mid card, who are actually going to get booed because with the wide range of audience and the people that they pull, it's very difficult for them to get someone to get booed entirely. Dom has done that, but it's starting to turn. They need something to renew the boos. And I think going with Roxanne over Liv would do that.
I think so too, because I also, if you go back to Monday, they opened up the show, Dom and Liv in the ring, and he could not get words out on the mic. They were loud as
Yeah.
fuck. But I love how he buys into it, and I love how he just takes the reins. Like I always say, he takes his 5 minutes every time he's on that camera and he runs with it. But yeah, I think you're right though. I think with him doing this switch over to Roxanne, it's going to increase, like it's going to be deafening when they boo his ass.
Because now people are starting to appreciate Liv. It's the same
Mhm.
thing that happened with, we're literally just doing the same story again in a different coat of paint. And it works. Like this is a storyline and a thing that people are so accustomed to because it's so regular in life. A dude cheats on a woman with another woman.
Yeah.
That is one of the most understandable stories in
Yep.
the entirety of society.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And it's
Because
like,
of that, people can gravitate to it multiple times.
well, very true. And at some point, if they keep going to this well, I mean, people are going to yell to these women that are getting involved with Dom.
Run, bitch! Run!
You just got to, because you don't need to get into that. But it's awesome too, because it plays into the Eddie Guerrero character back in the day. And that is my favorite part of this. The Dom legacy is all the nods pointed to one of my favorite storytellers, one of my favorite, just people who reacted. I mean, come on. The fact that he got Kurt Angle to lose by holding his boot, his wrestling boot, like just the things that Eddie Guerrero was able to come up with, either planned out or on the fly, was phenomenal. I adore that dude, and the fact that Dom is out there, giving praise to what Eddie did, especially one of the biggest stories Eddie did with China. I mean, come on. Latino heat was one of the biggest things back then. Everybody was lying, cheating, and stealing. That's just what we did. I loved it. And I love what Dom's doing. He's become one of my absolute favorites to see in wrestling today. And his matches they just get better and better every time he's in the ring. He's so good. Grun, what are you looking up?
No, just you know me. I'm always looking to see if there's new wrestling news, because you never know when Adam Pearce or somebody's going to repost something dumb online.
Yeah, the walking penis head. Yep.
Yeah. Well, you can be grateful I have not seen anything from Adam Pearce today.
Awesome. Well, that works up.
Good news.
Yeah.
You were fired.
Well, Grun, apparently word in from Stan Smith, you're fired. So pack your bags, get the fuck out, Grun. It's nice knowing you. But we're going to jump into my discussion here, Grun. It's something I think you'll enjoy, because I think we need to discuss this match that's coming up tonight. And I'm halfway into it and I'm halfway not, only because I don't know if putting this person in a title shot like right now is the best look for the women's division. Tonight we have Becky Lynch defends her World Intercontinental title against Bayley. Now, I am a Bayley fan. I'm a fan of both of these women in the ring. But I'm also a fan of pushing stories and bringing up younger talent and making them shine, especially in these moments. And I am one of the people on IYH who gets a little annoyed when the veterans come back and they instantly get a title shot. And this is one of the cases. I'm not saying Bayley doesn't deserve it. I'm pretty sure going down the road, you can make an argument on why she does deserve this title shot. But what I'm saying is, where are you guys on this match specifically? And then B, what do you guys feel about veterans, legends coming back and taking up matches like this? I mean, one of the biggest ones is the Goldberg match coming up. Why?
Why don't we cover both at once during that question then?
Let's do it then.
So when we're talking about the women's Intercontinental title match, like I think on one hand this is definitely really good because we are seeing Becky Lynch where she has she has all the tools she has gained over all the years, and now she's having a match with Bayley, who has gotten to a point where has everything she needs to blow up again and have a great run as a women's champion one more time or more. Um, now with and now I do think there's a difference when we're talking about Gunther and Goldberg, because Goldberg, his prime was mid 2000s.
Never.
That was probably the last time he could have been really good. But and he had quit. He had left by the time I started watching WWE. So I don't even know how good he was. I just heard about it. But yeah.
I don't disagree with that statement. I just don't know. I don't know if we needed the title match this quickly.
So Josh, you said you like building swords. I think the interaction between Bayley and Lyra Valkyria back last week, I think that is going to tell us what's going to happen. Something's going to happen that's going to cause Lyra to decide to come out, because I think she is on the verge of turning heel herself. Maybe not the team up with Becky, but to definitely get mad at Bayley, because Lyra didn't like the fact that Bayley just jumped in and, like you said, the veteran just showed up and got a title match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We had the Lou chime in. Lou, we love you, and yeah, I agree with you.
I don't want your conversation to just be one long beep.
And that's for you, Grun. That's the fans have said it about you. But let's move to what Kevin has to feel about this subject.
So, as far as the Bayley Becky match, I think it's a little quick. I'm generally in favor of the people who return getting a couple matches with some underneath guys or girls, and they go over them nice and clean, like 5-7 minute match, bell to bell. We don't need anything big. We need to prop these people back up because they're just returning. Take a returning Nikki Bella, for example. I wouldn't want her to go right into a title match because it doesn't make sense to me, because she's just returning off of a long hiatus. She needs a couple wins. She doesn't just get to come in on her name. On the other hand of that, though, there are legends that come back that can't do the run of matches. And that's where Goldberg is.
Them knees wouldn't
wouldn't handle it. There's a higher chance that he gets hurt over time. And I think that becomes a problem of when you do it and when you don't. So I think for Goldberg, it's okay as long as he doesn't win the title, because unless they're going to have Seth cash in on Goldberg right after it, which they could do, I don't see a Goldberg win there, and that becomes just, hey, let's feed Goldberg to Gunther, which also isn't a bad thing. But returning people is weird because it can go both ways. I don't think we can take black and white stances on it because it's situational. For Bayley, you have someone who's going to be returning whole time, full time. Give her some wins, make her come back up, build that match to be a bigger deal than you have. But for Goldberg walking out is the biggest pop he's going to get. So you set up that match then and there before you have diminishing returns. It's all about what kind of business you want out of it and what kind of business you can get out of the performers. Undertaker can't go out there on those rickety ass knees anymore. One of my favorites, but he can't go out there anymore on those rickety ass knees and be able to compete in a couple matches to build him up before his whatever match. He's just going to go out. He's going to be Undertaker. He's going to have his one match. Cool. That also, can I expound on one part of that, though? Because one thing I don't like about returning legends.
You obviously can, my friend.
I just wanted to make sure. There's one thing I don't like about returning legends and what they get. I don't like that they get title shots right away.
Yeah.
Matches are fine, but title shots don't make sense to me, only because you're shitting all over your kayfabe. And if you're trying to prop people up through wins, you're telling us that wins don't really matter. It's all about your name.
Yes.
And I don't like that. So if I were to be booking the Gunther Goldberg match, that title doesn't need to be on the line for it to be a big deal. And in fact, if you don't put it on the line, Goldberg could win and Gunther wouldn't be hurt either.
Yeah. Yeah. And then now you're playing with storyline when you do that. Yeah. I mean, the only legend that I am perfectly fine with showing up, title match, give him the fucking title. I don't care how old his knees are.
Talk about your Psalms. Talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass.
Yeah, you give Austin it anytime he enters the ring, but he never wants it. That's what I love about him too. He doesn't want to do these things. Okay, with the Bayley situation, you got me more okay with that there, Kevin. And that's purely on the fact that how you put it. She's going to be around. It's not like a one-off for her.
My assumption is that they'll do a triad of matches. So they'll do a trilogy. This one will be one of them. I think it's too soon to do it.
Yeah, that's where
you
I'm
can
at.
build some money out of it. You could do the first one at Evolution. It's not that far away. Give Bayley some wins. But if you're going to just do a quick rematch of Bayley Becky at Evolution anyway, it isn't the worst to just throw them in the match. And then my assumption is that this match gets thrown out. It will not have a clean finish or a dirty finish. It's just going to be thrown out.
That's where I hope they
no
go.
contest, disqualification, count out, something. It won't be definitive.
Especially if you're going to, like you said, possibly do 3 matches out of this leading up to Evolution.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I would like that, but I would have liked a lot more if Becky would have came out and been like, do you even think I'm going to even put this on the line at all? No, you have to earn this. You just got back. Just like I had to earn my shots and then I took what I wanted, you know. But they didn't. They're going with this route, which is fine. It's a Monday Night Raw. Why not highlight the Women's Intercontinental Championship and put it on the line? It draws more eyes. I get all that. Goldberg, I absolutely do not understand. I'm not a fan of this or him.
It feels more forced now. It feels forced.
Really
I'll
does.
just leave it there. Because they were trying to plan this match a while ago, and it would have worked a while ago. I will die on that hill. It would have worked a while ago. But that time has passed now, and they're trying to go back. And it's just not. I don't think Gunther had to win the title to get there. Just to get, because that's what feels forced, is Gunther winning the title when he didn't have to face Goldberg. The Goldberg match could have stood on its own without a title.
I like that. Because, yeah, you're right. It could. Because when I look back on the years, honestly, Goldberg's title run means nothing to me. But that's just because
there was no real Goldberg title run that was like magnificent.
Exactly.
To me.
His dominance run.
That's the one.
Exactly. And Gunther's already beaten that dominance run, in my opinion. I mean, his title run that he had was pretty fucking epic.
Intercontinental breaking record title. Yeah, absolutely.
It was pretty fucking epic. And the fact that now I think he's already beaten that with Goldberg. So that's where I'm at with why it doesn't make any sense. I get that Goldberg said Gunther said something a year ago or whatever. And then now Goldberg's all fired up. But like I brought up on Sunday, it's so annoying to me that when these legends come back for for a title run, it's always thrown in, well, my son hasn't seen me do this. That my kids haven't seen me at
Dude.
this point.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we don't need a title for that.
Exactly. We don't need a title for that. And then if you open up that gate, what's down the road? Oh, my grandchild has never seen me do this. So what, we're going to get 90-year-old Goldberg coming out there and being like,
Right.
"Bruh." You know what? And I know
Coming out
that's
with a walker.
not, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
No.
I pray it doesn't. But what I'm saying is like, to me, Goldberg was meaningful for one promotion and what they did. And then you were either a fan of it or you weren't. And I was not. And the reason I wasn't a fan of it, because I didn't think Goldberg respected wrestling as a whole. He was there for a paycheck. They made him a star. He rode that stardom. Plain and simple. There is nothing about his 3 moves of doom that make me want to fucking go in there. And
He didn't
watch.
even have a full Pokemon moveset.
No, he did not. He did not. No, I agree with you. I mean, that last image of him jumping out of the ring and those knees going off to the side, and then him, I guess, playing it off, it looked like it might have tweaked him a little bit.
I understand. I understand wanting to bring in a legend and put him against one of your bigger guys. I do, because they are still bigger names. And Goldberg is a big name. And I also don't want to disparage guys who do pro wrestling for a paycheck, because I don't think that's a bad thing if you're willing to put your heart, soul in to make sure that everything's good. Brock Lesnar was one of those guys. He didn't always love the business. In fact, most of the time he didn't.
Yep.
But you know what he loved? He loved getting paid, and he knew he was good at it.
Yeah.
And he kept improving to make sure that he was good at it in a top draw. I can't speak to that for Goldberg, because for a long time they just pushed him through and got him on this dominant run. That feels like booking to me as opposed to anything like improving. But at the same time, it was effective. So why would he improve? Or why would he change anything that he was doing? Maybe improve is the wrong word, but like change, adapt, anything like that. There's no reason to. And his, year or so long run was so iconic that people remember it to this day. I understand fans' hate for Goldberg, but he is a commodity still. The only problem comes with the title and the kayfabe of it and how we're doing matches.
Yeah.
And that's my issue here. It's the same issue I would have if Taker came back and he was fighting John Cena for the title. Just Taker comes out and he gets a title shot against Cena. That's ridiculous.
I agree. He's one of my favorites, and I would be right there with you. I'd be like, this is nonsensical.
Yeah.
Grun, did you have a point you wanted to bring into this?
Yeah. You guys are talking about how Goldberg doesn't care. Did you hear about Goldberg's little story about last week when he showed up on Raw? He almost didn't show up because he forgot what day it was on.
I don't know if that's accurate, but it would be hilarious if it was.
I honestly wouldn't be that shocked, because I mean, let's mention that. Let's also bring up the fact that The Rock, like if you listen to Dylan Hornswoggle talking to Chris Van Vliet recently, you'll know that when he first met The Rock, Hornswoggle had been on TV a lot, and The Rock didn't know that.
Yeah,
The Rock.
I did hear that interview.
The Rock thought he was just a special needs kid.
Yep.
It's like, nope. Nope. This is a grown man who's a pro wrestler and an employee of the WWE that you don't watch. Everyone.
I don't care what kind of shape you're in. I'm going to knock your teeth back out the other side of your head. You understand that?
You understand that?
Yes,
you understand that, Rock? Yeah, well, guys like that though, and I will even I don't want to defend Goldberg, but I will. They were so huge in their era that I could see them not seeing somebody who is, and I don't mean this in the sense of it, but beneath them. And I don't think Hornswoggle's beneath anybody. I don't think anybody's beneath anybody. But in the world of stardom at that time, The Rock was he was like the Pope of wrestling. Like everybody wanted to be around him. Austin was the same way. Goldberg, an entire amount of the NWO. At this time, those guys were on such levels that they don't even see what's happening around
No.
them.
They're just hearing stories from some of the older cats, whether it be in locker rooms or podcasts. They're not very cognizant of what's happening outside of where they're at, and that's okay. But it's just like anyone who gets their tunnel vision in their occupation. But man, yeah, just a wrap and a final analogy for the Goldberg thing for me is it just gives me fever dreams and trauma responses of WrestleMania 9. Jey Uso couldn't beat Yokozuna, but here comes Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, there we go. We got the old Hogan coming out there and just
doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me. And update on Hulk Hogan. Apparently, I don't know if he's improved or not, but as of last week, was on a ventilator. Complications to a back surgery that he was going through, and that was courtesy of his longtime friend Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we just have to be adults. We have to realize that life ends up always winning, and at some point in time, things catch up to you, and the reaction from the fans sometimes should be loving and caring, but at this moment, I don't think this one's going to get too much of anything. And say what you want about him, but he was a very, very big part of wrestling back in the day. But you reap what you sow, as they say. So I'm okay with the fact that he's had a long life. He's done what he needed to, and time always catches up. It's the ultimate champion.
You'll never hear me defend Hulk Hogan, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing people die, but reap what you sow is probably apt.
Yeah, and I trust me. Yeah, I already know, because me and Jones, we've talked about this stuff, and I get it, and I truly do, and I've come around to that. I famously have talked about it. I have a great uncle who was around, and he infamously called me Hulk. Like that, because when I was growing up, he was very influential. I took my vitamins, I said my prayers, I did all those things. But the more I got into wrestling, like I've talked about, Sabu's the one who changed my eyes on that. And from that moment of watching him to now, I realized that maybe some apples don't need to be on that tree.
Yeah.
So
I don't disagree.
But here we are. We got Daniel Garcia chiming in. WWE now needs to build the next main eventers of tomorrow.
Ooh, all right, writes down topic for next week.
We already know they are.
Look at that.
Main eventer.
You gotta love it, and we gotta love it.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel chiming in. He's been active in our chats for a few shows. We're starting to adore Daniel Garcia.
Okay.
What the fuck are you pointing at? You're in a room by yourself.
What I'm pointing at is the fact that if you want to hear about the legends or the future greats, you got to check out season 2 of WWE's LFG Legends and Future Greats. It debuted last night. Booker T is salty as hell for losing last week. Is salty as hell for Michelle McCool's first 2 draft picks. Yes, they're doing drafts draft this time around.
Okay.
BJ Ray is back, unfortunately. So is Bailey Humphrey, Elijah Holyfield, Shell Hill, most of.
So they just brought back the last podcast.
Most
A
of.
majority of them are.
Most.
Okay. I actually don't hate that.
No,
I don't either.
I don't hate it either, especially since a large majority of them did significantly progress by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Grun, point that finger where the sun don't shine.
I'm be sticking this finger in your grave, Lou.
Whoa, goodness, Grun.
We have a match coming up, okay? Me and Lou, we have a match coming up, Chad. Relax, okay?
Yeah.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
It's scary outside.
It's scary outside. All right, fans, we are literally 3 minutes away from Raw going live. So what we do at the end is we let everybody know where you can find us. So Grunmeister, let them know where they can find those beautiful blue eyes of villainous.
You can find me at twitch.tv/Grunmeister. You can also find me at youtube.com/Grunmeister. I will be streaming every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, with my Grun's Room SmackDown preview review show. Be sure to hit the follow because you never know when I'm going to sneak up with a stream.
Beautiful. All right, Kevin Kalloway, what do you got in that bag of chaos that you've been pulling out of?
Well, as always, you can follow me as well at Instagram at Kalloway Kevin and on Facebook at Kevin Kalloway. I have a title defense on Friday out in Troy, Michigan. I'm defending the New Edge Elevation title against one Tommy Rinks. Another young boy is going to learn today. You got to elevate in order to win a title.
You got to.
In the title name. You can also catch me. I'm planning on streaming at the end of this week, Thursday and Friday. I honestly haven't decided because now that my computer died, it kind of put a kibosh on some of the things I can play. But I do know that I still need to get that goddamn Diablo rewards cat. So I'm going back in. One of those days is going to be Diablo.
Well, Kevin, he had to take some time off. He went into the forest. He had to do some business. So he's back at it. So let's keep updated on that. And whenever Kevin gets his Diablo title upgrade trophy, his cat, we'll be on that one. Fans, if you loved what you've seen here, you can come back every Monday at 7 p.m. where we do it. It is Kevin Kalloway, the Chaos Goblin, and Grunmeister. He's my blue-eyed villain. You can be a part of this. It's a fun time. We've seen y'all in the chat. We absolutely adore the fact that you guys are here. Thank you so much. Outside of that, there's a Thursday thing I do. It's called ECW Watch Along. It's where I take my buddy House and I show him some crazy matches that my parents allowed me to watch when I was a kid. So I let him see them as an adult because they're adult matches. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of things. Maybe, but you don't want to see that as a kid, but I did. And I'm introducing my buddy House to it. So come join us. That's 5 p.m. on a Thursday. Outside of that, there's a Sunday house party that we do. Anybody who's a part of the household, they jump on and we talk wrestling. It's usually that week of wrestling we talk about and we have some fun. It's a great time. And I know you guys noticed Jones wasn't there. There's going to be a shift in the lineup. Jones he's on his own journey and he's going to be a part of the show in other ways, but you probably won't be seeing him on too many of our shows. Maybe some guests coming up he might be a part of, but we love you, Hypocrisy Jones. You are the reason why I am IYH, and you are the reason why I absolutely adore this world. And you are a gem, my friend. And I can't wait to see where you go, what links you hit, and what we get to talk about next. But fans, this is IYH, and we keep on moving because we're mighty strong, like House says all the time. So fans, we love you. We cannot wait to be a part of whatever you got going on. And always remember, Butters is everything. There's nothing more than Butters, just be Butters.
You want to do it in my butt? In my butt?